When he was not selected until the 8th round of the 1969 NFL Draft, James Harris considered quitting football altogether. He loved playing the sport and knew he was good at it, capable of outplaying many of the white quarterbacks who had been drafted ahead of him. But if it was going to be this hard for him to earn respect and make it as a black quarterback in the pros, Harris wondered whether he was just wasting his time. He stood 6'4" and weighed 210 pounds, the ideal size for a pro quarterback, and possessed a powerful right arm capable of whipping tight spirals across the field. Mature and poised at age 21, he had already operated a complex offense and won championships at Grambling, a historically black college in Louisiana known for its powerhouse football team. White quarterbacks with his size and college statistics usually were drafted in the first few rounds, but 191 other players had been selected before Harris went to the Buffalo Bills in the 8th round. It was a slap in the face. Disgusted, Harris went to the football field at Grambling and sat by himself in the empty bleachers. Grambling's coach, Eddie Robinson, came and sat with him. "Why bother?" Harris asked. Robinson, who had spent years grooming Harris to become the first black quarterback to make it in the pros, answered carefully. "The decision is yours, but you're good enough to make it," Robinson said. Harris stared into the distance, listening. "Don't expect it to be fair," Robinson said. "You're going to have to be better than the other quarterbacks. You're going to have to work harder, prepare more, throw more passes. Be the first one on the practice field and the last one to leave. You can't miss a day." He paused for effect. "But like I said," he continued, "you're good enough." Harris bit his tongue. The previous fall, another black quarterback, Marlin Briscoe, had demonstrated in 5 starts for the American Football League's Denver Broncos that he was good enough to play in the pros. His scrambles and pinpoint passing electrified fans. But he was on the field only because the team's other quarterbacks were injured, and the Broncos had no intention of ever giving him another chance to play the position. Briscoe's treatment in Denver discouraged Harris. There were still no black quarterbacks in pro football. Nonetheless, after listening to Robinson, Harris decided to put aside his doubts, go to Buffalo, and try to make it with the Bills. His mother told him, "Just do your best," as she had before every game he played. But she, too, prepared herself for disappointment. Once in Buffalo, Harris experienced indignities that would have left almost anyone discouraged. During an introductory camp for rookies, the Bills put him up at a YMCA in a room costing $6 a night. Some of his teammates had better accommodations. When Harris told the Bills he needed spending money while Robinson negotiated his contract, they gave him a job cleaning his teammates' cleats. When Robinson asked for more money than the Bills initially offered, they threatened to move Harris to wide receiver. Black quarterbacks coming out of college and trying to make it in the pros typically were turned into wide receivers or defensive backs. What went unstated was the assumption that they simply were not smart enough to play quarterback, the most complicated position in the game. Harris was one of 8 quarterbacks in Buffalo's training camp. The others included Jack Kemp, a veteran mainstay who had led the Bills to 2 championships, and Tom Flores, another veteran, heeding Robinson's advice. Harris studied and practiced hard, avoiding giving the coaches easy reasons to cut him. He prayed for windy days. The other quarterbacks' passes fluttered in drills, but Harris's arm was so strong that his balls zipped through the air on a line undisturbed. He looked good in the wind, and he knew it. It affirmed what Robinson had told him. "You're good enough." The Bills saw enough in Harris to give him a roster spot and start him in their season opener against the New York Jets, pro football's reigning champions. Few understood the extent of the miracle. The Associated Press buried it, reporting near the end of a story that Harris would break a small barrier in sports by becoming the first Negro to open a season at quarterback in pro football history.